pot is a better drug than alcohol. Fact. Fact. Stop your internal dialogue. But Bill, alcohol. Shut up! You're wrong. Get over it. Okay? Okay. I'll prove it to you, man. You're at a ball game or a concert and someone's really violent and aggressive and obnoxious. Are they drunk or are they smoking pot? Which is it? They're drunk. I have never seen people on pot get in a fight because it is fucking impossible.
Okay, this is K-roc with the redpillradio.com, and this video is about 3 topics: K-roc and why to watch K-roc, and Steve Jobs and weed. Alright, so how do those things all tie in together? Well, first of all, I am K-roc. I am the Truth Hammer, and I am so self-named because I believe that once you reach a certain level where you believe yourself to be closer to getting self-actualized and being enlightened, not that you're already there, not that because truth is a destination that you keep pursuing, but once you get to a certain level that you believe that you are fairly enlightened, meaning you get to the point where you realize why Jesus and Einstein were both pacifists. Not that I wouldn't defend my household, but in terms of going to war, it's always been engineered. The bankers finance both sides of it. It's a fool's errand. Henry Kissinger himself says that soldiers are pawns for a chess game of, in foreign policy. So anyway, that Enlightenment process coincided with, number one, 9/11 truth. And I just had to go down that whole dirty path, and once you arrive to it, that these people are so evil, they'll sacrifice their own in order to wage war and basically create so much chaos that they get away with their usury scheme. That's the underlying thing that they want. That's the thing that fuels the whole hot mess. Anyway, getting back to the point is that you realize it's a fool's errand, and you get so angry that you want to resist them in every way you can, and if they're that evil, you got to be that good, and it puts you on the righteous path. So there's that aspect, and I am committed to this course. I am so committed to this course that I believe I was born. It was my destiny to destroy the New World Order, and that marries with the second topic, which is Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs just recently died, and I was just reading a post that was about him, and he is known for being this amazing innovator. Apple computers, you had basically IBM and PC, and they vied for different products, and ultimately Apple prevailed, and IBM is, I don't know, it's like a Chevy. Alright, whereas
What is that?
Apple is the highly innovated Lexus, let's go with. So anyway, the point being is that this amazing entrepreneur proclaims, and he admits, that his creativity was enhanced by his acid trips that he had taken on a variety of different occasions. In our society, we are always told about all the evils of drugs, how they destroy you and they're bad, and in the meantime they give you the worst drug, which is alcohol. Far and away the worst things that I've done in my life in terms of being wicked and bad and irresponsible were just plain dumb, just everything. They were always on alcohol. And what it does is alcohol emphasizes your ego and your materialism and the Smeagol part of you, not the Fonzie part of you, the Smeagol part of you. And particularly me, like I would go off the chain sometimes while drinking. So, alternatively, something that's actually beneficial for you, as Steve Jobs admits, this icon of American entrepreneurship, it says his biggest inspiration, not like a mild inspiration, but his most creative moments in his life were while on acid. It influenced his entire business philosophy to just really go for it. And I understand that because ultimately when we are material and egotistical, we're very fearful. We're at our most shallow. Whereas when we're spiritual, our spirits are fearless because they have no they don't feel pain. They are immortal. To that end, that's what hallucinogenic drugs do for you, is they get you in touch with your spiritual self. That's why Rastafarians they use weed as a tool to get them in touch with their higher self. Their higher self, their higher vibration, so that they're able to interact on a spiritual plane where you can actually solve some problems, because people recognize that you all come from the same source. You get away from being black and white and male, female, languages, countries, all those things become irrelevant. You lose your fear when you become spiritual. You're not managed by the state, and that's why they make hallucinogenic drugs illegal, is they don't want you to be in touch with your spiritual self who's willing to die for what you believe in. Get it? That's the real and true base reason. And ultimately, if you're spiritual at all, like this is just all a blink in the time-space continuum. So you snap your fingers and you're all right back here anyway. What do you got to lose? There's nothing to lose. And that's how I see it. So I am going to advocate some of the people, and I was vastly against this idea because I was brainwashed by the state. During the time in training for the Marines, they were very, very strict about, like, if you just get a DUI, they'd kick you out. And my roommates actually used to tease me while in college, and they would blow weed underneath my door. And it was like this running game because, you know, generally the fraternity I was in was completely against drugs. We would throw black balls on guys wrongly because they smoked weed, but that was just the whole Reagan era mantra. It's what you're supposed to do, and we were just like good little brain mind slaves. We did what, you know, say no to drugs, but in the meantime, the state is number one. It's the number one importer through the CIA of illicit drugs, and then big pharma drugs are just everywhere. You turn on the TV, between alcohol commercials and you know, prescription drugs, it's, I would say, half the advertisements are for one of those two things. The same with print advertising. So to say that this country is against drugs, it's just mind-numbingly dumb. My parents are on like 15 drugs apiece. They're all recommended by doctors who have never possibly done all the permutations of all the interactions between those different drugs. There's no way. There is no way that, nor do they care. They're there to just pump their symptom suppressants. They never fix anything. So, as with everything else, you know, doctors have destroyed medicine, just like the media has destroyed truth. So, I'm here to speak out to, you know, to some of the people who might be libertarian, but they've never smoked weed. I'm telling you, do it for the betterment of your soulful self. Do it for the betterment of your ability to break down some of the tyranny that's in your own mind, where you know, believe everybody is corrupt except Ron Paul is going to save you. Like, they're all in on it. They're all in on it. The country's been bankrupt since '33. It's a corporation, number one. The bankruptcy means that the creditor makes all the big decisions. The president is a puppet. So on one hand, you have this double speech where Alex Jones is saying Obama's a puppet, the other presidents are puppets, but somehow Ron Paul's going to get elected and he's not a puppet. And let's say he did get elected, you got one guy and all the other ones are corrupt. So what is he going to do? Become king? Like, so we're going to trust this old guy who's going to become king that won't talk about 9/11 truth. So anyway, it dumbfounds me. It's nothing against Ron Paul. We met him. We got pictures of him. He's a very nice man. But at some level, there's fraud going on there. All right. So, and beyond that, you have the whole idea that he's pumping the idea of the Rothschild's gold system, which is a means by which for an elite few to control our monetary system. And that's the whole idea we want to get away from. We don't want to be controlled by an elite few. We need to get past that. So how do we control it ourselves? Glad you asked. That is through mountainhours.com. That's the local currency initiative that Choice and I are affecting in Colorado, but it's a good model for you to pursue. We went out and handed our first DVDs out that I was in. Like, I was the only person in them except for Robin and Choice and a few friends, but basically it was interesting because you're self-promoting, so that's a little bit weird, but it's really not about me, it's about the message. It's about catching some attention, being a little outlandish that gets some attention, but to wake people up and shake them out of their stupor for a second, to open their eyes and check out something new. So anyway, that was fun. We handed some of those DVDs and it was talking about the initiative for a local currency. It actually had a couple images on there for the design templates that we've got thus far. They're only maybe about half done, but that was cool. Like, you're on your path, you're pushing the ball forward, and this is going to be everything that I do is something that is what I want other people to do in other communities, so that we become sovereigns, that we control our local areas, our organic local currency. So you got to do this on your own, and this is about a movement and ideas. By definition, this is going to be empowering local people, as opposed to having this national monopoly on currency, which is obviously, it's just harvesting our energy away from us, taking it, and then the money changers basically use it to finance our enslavement. So our energy is being used in a judo move right back against us. So rather than protesting, I would suggest that we just, hey, we don't like what you're doing with your systems. Well, let's just develop our own systems. We don't need them. Let them pound sand. So, by the way, I'll crank that up.
I know. Perfect.
This is an excellent song for me to sign out with. Maybe I'll play it throughout. It's People Under the Stairs. Acid Raindrops? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's on Pandora.
Watch the YouTube ideally, because it's they do it live, and it's just awesome. They're just madfully skilled. And so anyway, getting back to the Steve Jobs thing, the way he innovated solving problems for technology, well, I intend to do that for making sovereign societies. I intend to be an innovator for curing the ills of society and how they're destroyed by globalism. So, and to accentuate my creative capacity, I'm going to use weed a lot to do it, because that's how I got here in the first place, and it's working just fine. So I recommend some of you libertarians, or really just all y'all, smoke some weed today. It'll make you a better person, promise. K-Roc, the Truth Hammer, signing out.
Today, a young man on acid realized that all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we're the imagination of ourselves.
All I'm saying, you gotta enjoy your motherfucking life. That's all the fuck I'm saying. Enjoy your goddamn life. Life is fucking short. Enjoy that shit. Some of y'all just need to smoke some weed and see if it don't help the quality of your motherfucking life.
This is Wayne signing out with the redpillradio.com.
Alright. So like we said, man, it's people under the stairs, right?
Yeah.
You ever heard this song before?
No, I've never heard it before. What is it?
I don't know. It's about these acid raindrops that come over the people. You know what I'm saying? They start raining down. Dudes start rolling up. The kids love it. So